Hello there, Fabrikod here. I'm Hassan, the product owner.
And I'm Rahmi Osman Kaçmaz. I'm the lead designer at Fabrikod.
We're going to talk about how we came up with the idea and the application of Sleepy Baby. So basically, to start, Sleepy Baby, we came up with this idea, Sleepy Baby. First, we developed another similar application, which was White Sound, was focused on offering meditation and smoothing calm sounds for all people who wanted to be calm and wanted to meditate or want to get some relaxed time. And then after getting some feedback, people interested in making their babies asleep with that application. However, the sounds that we included in White Sound were not exactly focused for babies, so we decided to create an MVP product for baby sleep. And after getting more feedback, which was really positive, we decided to invest more time and effort to create a more sophisticated and successful application, which currently is Sleepy Baby. And I was in charge of the development process of the applications from the very beginning, which basically was White Sound until the launch. And here we have Osman, which is the design leader, which you can explain how was the process, how we came up with the MVP design, which was really simple, if I remember.
Yes.
Maybe you can give those details.
We initially designed Sleepy Baby with the aim of making it very easy to use for parents to help their babies fall asleep. We designed the application with the intent of making it very easy for parents to use to help their babies fall asleep. And we have all kinds of different relaxing sounds. Once we designed the application, what we aimed for was to make it very user-friendly and easy to use. And we used different colors in the application that are that remind the person of sleep, and it's just comfortable to use. And we have different features, like we let the user record their own voices. For example, if mothers want to record their own lullaby and play it to the baby, they can do that.
Actually, we got really good feedback just with that MVP, which was really basic. Maybe guys, you will not never know how was it, because it was really primitive version of Sleepy Baby. If you remember, Osman, it were just big blocks, normal icons. Really, the color palette was not even close what we have right now.
It was a low fidelity example of what we had in mind, and then we just worked on it in a high fidelity version, and the design as it is came out.
Definitely. And actually, it just, that version just stands like maybe a couple weeks or three, because the feedback that we got was really positive. And in terms of numbers, actually we just have like 1 month and a half maybe the application out, and the numbers are really great. So I think we can now directly explain how we came up with the new design, which even increased more the numbers and the engagement of our users.
Yeah, so we did a redesign after we had the application first launched, and it was really, we had great feedback. The numbers of users, it skyrocketed in a short time. Maybe Maud can give more information about that.
Currently, we have around 50,000 users actively using the app. And actually, those numbers, me personally, while following all the process of the application, it really felt great, because I started when we just had like maybe 5 users, 6, 7 users, and when we were getting like 17, 18 users, I was directly sending pictures to the team like, hey guys, look how many users we have online right now. And now to see we have 50,000 users in the application in just 1 month and a half, that's
a very short time.
Yeah, that's very short time, even to assimilate that, And the design, actually, we used AI, right? We used AI for making the pictures, the background pictures, right, the icons, right? So, what do you think about using AI in those background pictures? Because we really got positive things there. And what do you think about the future? Can we keep using that? Is there a limit?
Yeah, sure. So about the graphics for the AI generated images were actually, it took us quite a lot of time to get them as we wanted, because we had a style in mind, and we achieved that style in the end. It had kind of like a fantasy world kind of vibe, and I think it reminds all of the images there, they remind the users of sleep, and yeah.
And is there any, because you guys, your team was the one searching the pictures, right? So there was any kind of strategy behind that, of the wording? Because AI is kind of hard to understand what do you have in your brain, right? By the way, yeah, one thing that really changed from the MVP to the current version was the icon, right? The really first icon was really simple. Why this icon? Why you came up with just sleeping baby over a cloud? Why?
Well, the logo of the application, the reason we chose that was because it really, we wanted to give that idea of having the baby sleep on a cloud very easily, and yeah, I think that's what the application achieves when the parents use it, because it makes it very easy for the babies to fall asleep. We have such fantastic and beautiful voices and sounds.
Yeah.
It's yeah, that's what we try to achieve.
And they think that the success of the app is not only because of the sounds. I think a big percentage is because of the design, and actually surveys have been conducted during this month and a half to know what our users want, what do they think, and we will talk about how we conducted, what do we ask, and a really big percentage was the design part, and mostly the colors. The colors, I think they're really well achieved, to be honest. How much time did you take to choose the right color palette for the app? Because if you think about the first version and the second one, they're like sun and moon, completely different.
Right.
What do you think about that?
So it took some time for us to achieve that part, and the reason for that was we had some experimenting to do, and just to try and see what kind of user feedback we would get from the colors, and in the end I think we quite achieved what we aimed for.
Great.
A relaxing color palette that's
Sure.
appealing to the eye, and it's also not too bright at the same time, so it doesn't wake up the child because it doesn't emit too much light.
And not talking about the design, but not about the design itself,
Yes.
but about the design team. You are the design leader. You have your own team, which I'm really close to you guys. And how do you manage to divide the tasks? Because in the design part, I always thought, me as a product owner, not design too much related, I think design is really personal, right? Everyone has its own likes and its likes. And in a team, in your team, there are many heads. How do you coordinate yourselves to get one design that is, how can I say?
Coherent?
Yeah, coherent with everyone,
Right.
and also really successful for the users.
Yeah, I think, well, it's important to get a common design language first with the application, because once you achieve that, it's much easier to transition it into other screens. So you need to have a consistent style of buttons, and of course, as you mentioned, color, and then the shapes. So once we achieved that, it was easy to tell the team, okay, this is the direction we go, and we were just on the same boat, all of us, once we achieved that.
And now a little bit inside of the team. Is there any discrepancy or discussion inside the team? No, it should be this icon, no, it should be this color.
Well,
Or was more like a harmonic team, everything perfect?
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly in harmony. I mean, but of course, everyone has their own ideas. The coordination in the team, of course, I mean, it was mostly, we were on the same boat, and we had a lot of harmony going on. But of course, every designer has their own idea, and it took some, let's say, discussion among ourselves and convincing which one is better to use. And that's really good because sometimes you just find a better solution to the problem you have at hand when you discuss it.
Definitely. Me, I've participated with you guys sometimes, but in a really small details, like we can put this or we can put that. Of course, it's not my field of expertise. But with me, as you know, guys, I'm easygoing, right? But for example, the relationship with the developers, right, which is I think really important in the developing side. Did you find any obstacles? I mean, at the end, the product was launched and everything was great, but there were some barriers like, okay, we want this, we can do this. Is there something that you can want to explain to us?
Well, I think we're very lucky at Fabrikod because our team really works very well together. We have a very coherent team, and I think that's one of our strengths because it helps us to work much faster and without getting stuck too much in the design to code process. So mostly they understand directly what we want, and it's achieved pixel perfect in a pixel perfect way, and it doesn't take too much time. So I think it's also because of the high skill level of our coders.
Definitely. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to reach those users and those numbers, right?
Yeah. So about the sounds in Sleepy Baby, how did we come about choosing what kind of sounds we were going to have, and how did we include what we wanted?
Of course, for choosing the sound was a really critical task, which I conducted myself, but honestly, I was considering the rest of the team opinions because I'm not a baby expert, of course. I don't have a baby yet. So choosing the right sound is sometimes difficult. Why? Because it needs to be accepted by the parents, and also at the same time needs to make fall asleep the baby, right? So for that, of course, we conducted so many strategies such as benchmarking, checking other applications, checking even specialists in the matter online, and right after that, still I didn't have the right answer. What we were doing was testing, A/B testing. We're putting one sound, then we're putting another kind of sound, and we're checking the feedback of our users. We must say that one of the key factors of the success of Baby Sleep was our constant communication with our users, right? Because at the very beginning, it's so important to know if our users are comfortable with the content, again with the design. So to do that, we were uploading many different sounds. We were checking which ones were most used, which ones are definitely not used, and we're kind of filtering in that way. Secondly, checking with specialists in the matter, such as pediatrists, doctors. They gave some feedback around that, and we took also their opinion to apply it for the content.
So can we say that A/B testing was one of the key elements that made Sleepy Baby successful?
Definitely, and still we're currently using it for not only the content. As you know, we also use it in the design. We also use it even in descriptions in the Play Store and App Store. We're using that. We're using A/B testing there.
Let me ask you something. So about the Play Store and App Store, what kind of comments do we get from the users about Sleepy Baby?
Of course, overall, I'm so proud. All the team is so happy. We're really getting good comments. We have a really good rate. Please don't take this as a advertisement, but you can check it online. We're really doing great. But of course, we're getting some bad feedbacks. For the constructive criticism, of course, we are getting it seriously. We're reading it. We're even trying to get in touch with them to know how can we improve our content, our design, everything all around the app. So overall is good. The ones that suggest some changes, some improvements, we take them seriously. We analyze them, and if they are viable, okay. If they're doable, we apply. If they're not, of course, not all of them can be applicable, right? So yeah, overall it's good.
Okay. How did we develop the application?
First of all, the project, as you know, we needed to establish and determine well our goals, which were creating an application where parents could easily use, right, and make successfully their babies fall asleep, right? So once we established the goal of the application, right after we decided all together who is going to work in this project. Of course, it was a really important project for us. We decided that the whole design team would participate, as you know, and for the development side, we decided who was going to be in the website, web development side, because it's not just a mobile application. We also have a panel to control and to manage all the content of the application. So we needed web development, and also we needed a native mobile development, which we also included many members there. So yeah, we decided that to build the team who is going to work on the application. And right after that, since we are using, as you know, agile methodology, we decided right in the very beginning to determine the sprints, determine the first tasks, and so on, so forth, until we're here. Actually.
And how long did it take to make the whole project come to life?
Okay, as you know, launched, it has been 1 month. Launched, it has been 1.5 months already, and the development side was around. We kind of quickly did that because we really focused on that, and it took around 3-4 weeks to develop. Actually, the MVP, it took us maybe 2 weeks at most, and then, as you know, the update version took us a little bit more, but not that much because the structure was kind of similar. The big change was the design, so we could say around 1 month in total, and still we're working on it. So basically, okay, 1 month.
Okay. So what kinds of technologies did we use to make the application come to life?
Okay, the whole application project, as I mentioned, is divided by two. One web development part, and the other one is mobile part. The web part, we basically used Filament. Really was an effective tool and efficient to create a panel, right? So where we can manage all our content. And it was also easy to design. So in that part, we just used Filament. And then in the mobile part, we used Flutter, where we just, as you know, guys, we just write one script, and it can be used both ways in iOS and Android. And in the mobile developments, we use Flutter, which basically we just code one script, and it can be used both in iOS and Android. And yeah, that's basically what we used. Kind of simple, effective, and efficient.
That's great. Yeah, so what are the future plans for Sleepy Baby?
Well, in design-wise, I think maybe you can tell us a little bit about, but I'm really happy about it. I don't want to change it, to be honest. But in the content part, we recently conducted a survey where our users, they were curious to know about more AI content, but not just design-wise, also content-wise. Sounds created by AI. We are working on that currently, and also we are planning, as you know, the application has many languages, like 10 languages right now, and we are trying to add new content. Of course, for the sound there's no problem because there's no language, but for the storytelling, we're trying to add new content. Hopefully, soon we'll add it in many languages, so all of our users all over the world, they can make their babies fall asleep by listening fairy tales. And for doing that, we're also planning to use AI, and a really good tool for that. We're trying to integrate ChatGPT or some bot tool in the application. So directly, maybe users. We're still working on the feature, but maybe users can write some keywords and they can have a fairy tale, and even they can listen the babies. So in a long term, we have really good things upcoming. In the short term, we're just adding new sounds, new tales for now in English, and that's it actually.
Sounds very exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. All right, so that sounds very exciting with all the updates coming up. So thank you for listening, and it was me, Rami Osman Kaçmaz, and Muat. We are happy that you are here. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments below, and please subscribe for future contents from us. And thank you.
Thank you so much.